All right, what to do, everybody? It's your boy LOG from Where There's Smoke. We're doing another episode review, and today we're doing a review over episode 3 of The Acolyte. So I finally got around to watching episode 3, and this is the episode that everyone in the Star Wars community is kind of up in arms about and really kind of disappointed about and just kind of trashing. And the main reason and the center of this episode is about Osha and May, the two twins of the series, were conceived by a force birth. But like basically, their mother created them with the force. They weren't conceived in like a natural way. So everyone's just kind of up in arms about that because they feel like it weakens Anakin's legitimacy to the chosen one and just kind of like shits on that and takes away what we thought was like super important and special about that. And maybe that was like something crazy, like he was the chosen one and he was the only one that was born without a dad type of thing. Now they're bringing that thing in again. So it's almost like, was he really the chosen one? Was that important or special if it's going to be done again with someone who's really, as we see through these witches, or it seems to see, are really not that powerful? Um, Overall, other than like that part and the chanting that they did during the Ascension ceremony, I really didn't think the episode was too bad. I'm definitely curious to know where these witches got their magic from. I think that could be a huge, like, potential storyline that could really be fruitful if they don't mess that up as well. But I think at this point, people are a little turned off, but I feel like they really have a chance to like turn it around and make it something interesting and cool. I'm not as into like in tune with Star Wars lore, so I've heard rumors of like Plagueis or someone else being introduced. I hope they do it, and if they do it right, and give the fans something to really look forward to. Because I think this series is still on the verge of saving, in my opinion. Another thing I picked up on that I thought was interesting was even though it seems like the witches are more or less the bad guys, I liked how Osha and May's mom was ultimately she put up a little fight when she like possessed the Jedi apprentice, who is what Torben. But eventually, she once she talked it over with Osha and May, she was cool with letting them test and even ultimately leave. It seemed like we don't really know what went down between the Jedi and the witches. That's something I'll touch on a little bit later. But it seems like the mom ultimately was cool and was gonna kind of do the right thing and let them go. So it really, and this show, the Jedi kind of showing up unprovoked and kind of poking their nose where it doesn't belong, and then the witches reacting this way kind of begs and brings into question like which group is the good versus the bad guys. I feel like this show definitely blurs the line more than the traditional Star Wars, where like the Jedi's are the good guys and the Sith are the bad guys. I feel like the lines are kind of blurred in this series, which I kind of like, and it's leaving it for the viewer to decide and make up their mind. Another curious thought, kind of where I was going a minute ago, was during the climatic scene of the whole fire when all the witches died and Osha barely escaped with Jedi Master Soul. Where were all the Jedi while this was going on? And how did the witches die so quickly? They blame the fire and all the death on May, but it's like somehow May was able to survive up until the point where Osha and May and Soul were all there in the same room. So it's like, why did the witches die so quickly? Where were the Jedi? Why did the fire spread so quickly? I have a lot of questions about what actually went on and why May is so angered towards the Jedi after this event. I guess I see some of it. Her whole family died from this event, but if it was a fire that she created, I just don't know how well that story holds up. And that's the first thing that Jedi Master Soul said to Osha when she woke up. So I don't know if we're getting a memory from her point of view that reinforces that, or if what we saw from her point of view is really what happened with May starting the fire. Another kind of cheesy moment that I happened to notice from the episode was that when May started the fire, it was nothing but like stone and brick and tile all around there, all stuff that's not flammable like at all. So it was kind of funny that the fire was like spreading with nothing really flammable for it to spread on. I thought that was kind of cheesy. Um, yeah, I was just really curious that during the climactic scene where the Jedi Masters were as far as like helping, and if Soul and or one other Jedi were there, they could have potentially saved May from like the fall, which she didn't need to be saved. She made it on her own, but like I just wonder where the Jedi were to like save the day and like save people, help out, stop the fire, use the Force to like help out, and it just begs into question or brings into question rather if they were the ones that kind of helped spread the fire and or killed the witches on their own. So I'd be interested to see if there's ever another flashback or if more truth is ever revealed to what happened on that night where all the witches died. So all in all, the episode was, getting weak scores from people because of the chanting during the Ascension ceremony and the whole way that the twins were conceived. But I thought the episode was decent. I still have hopes for the series. There's 5 more episodes. They still have time to turn it around. If we get some good action, good battles, less cheesiness, and something to look forward to for maybe potentially the end of the season, or if there is going to be a season 2, really line up that next good, whoever the dark side user is, that's the bad guy, really line him up good. Don't let us down, because I feel like this is at a turning point for Star Wars where if this is shit, people are really going to start to turn away from the series as a whole. I think people have kind of been disappointed with the end of The Mandalorian and other shows, of course, the latest movies. So we'll see where the series goes. I still have hopes for it. I think the episode definitely gives us some things to talk about. And I like how it's not all just plain cut and dry. Like I'm left wondering where these witches get their magic from and who's the good guys and who's the bad guys. It doesn't seem like the Jedi are just straight good guys as you would think in this one. So I guess that's my review for episode 3. Overall, not as bad as most people are saying. Oh, right before I end it, I think that's another thing I want to say. There's a huge thing that's been a thing for a while, but it's popular to be like counterculture and to say like, oh, this sucks, and like just shit on stuff. So I know a lot of people are just shitting on this episode, and it wasn't the best thing I've ever seen, but there were good parts to it, good elements, things that can give us stuff to talk about and look forward to. And until the series is like this all the way through, I need 1 or 2 more episodes to see what they do with it. I'm gonna give them a chance, and I'm gonna also see how the finale is. So if season 1 is all bad, then I might quit watching, but I'm gonna give season 1 a chance, and hopefully there's more interesting lore and stuff for us to talk about as the season progresses. So I think that's my review for episode 3 of The Acolyte. And until next time, that's LOG from Where There's Smoke. I'm out.